Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Are you someone that struggles with your weight and struggles with how much body fat percentage you might have or how much you want to have in the future? Well, in today's video I'm going to be showing, or I guess explaining, my journey in losing body fat and how I went from 25% body fat to 15% body fat in just 3 months. So this wasn't super recent. This was about 3-ish years ago, 4-ish years ago. I remember still being in high school. But this was also over the summer. So I was still busy. Don't get me wrong. Like, I still had things going on. I was ending lacrosse, I was starting football, and I was golfing, I was hanging out with friends, I was doing things in the meantime. I had a job. So, like, I was busy. Like, it was a very packed schedule. It was still tight. Even though, it was summer, I still had a packed schedule. And I was able to fit the gym in either way. And some of my workouts were 45 minutes to an hour. So not super long, but like it says right up here, no expensive gym membership. I remember the only 2 gyms I've ever been to is Lifetime, and I didn't really weight train there because I was very inconsistent, but that wasn't during freshman year. During freshman year, I started going to Anytime Fitness, and I was using my school gym. So my school gym at the time was not great. It had a few racks, some machines, your kind of essentials for like football or, like sports stuff. But it wasn't like what you would think of a gym. And then Anytime, I feel like most people kind of know, but Anytime is just like machines, free weights. You got your essential machines, and then you can go to like other locations and they have different machines. You got your cardio area. It's all of the good stuff you want in the gym, but not super expensive. I think it's like $30 a month, so it's really inexpensive. And Planet Fitness is like $1 a month. It has the same stuff, so not super expensive memberships. And I was also, like I said, I had a busy schedule, but I was also doing a shit program. At that time, I had no clue what I was doing. I just wrote down, like, I looked up CBum's program, and I took it and I just kind of modified it. I modified it into workouts that I liked, but still kind of the same muscle groups that CBum was doing. I just decided I wanted to switch it up. So yeah, I wasn't doing a good program by any means. It wasn't anything science-based. It wasn't any of the most optimal movements, but it was doing the job, right? So, and at this time, I wasn't worrying about carbs, protein, fat, and I was very inconsistent, but I was only tracking calories. So yeah, it just goes to show, like, you don't need to track everything. Now, watching calories is very important when losing body fat or losing weight in general, just because you want to make sure you're in a caloric surplus or deficit depending on if you want to lose or gain weight. In this scenario, I wanted to be in a deficit, which I was by about 300-ish, I want to say. But yeah, so I was only tracking calories at that time. So I remember I was doing football stuff, right? So I was getting a lot of cardio in, and cardio is very important as well when you are trying to lose weight, because even though it's not super essential for losing weight, it can really help and it can really speed up that process. And I saw that a lot because if any of you know football, you sweat a lot, and it's you burn a lot of calories. So on top of me eating less, I was also burning a lot of calories. That's why I was eating lower, or I was eating on the higher end of a calorie deficit. So if you really wanted to go into a calorie deficit and you weren't like exercising a lot, you would probably go 500 calories in. I was going 300 calories down. So yes, only tracking calories. And it was football. I was burning a lot of calories, but I was also eating less calories than my maintenance. So then I did weight training as well. So I did cardio and weight training. Now, technically, I did it in the wrong order because you're supposed to do cardio after weight training, just so that, you know, your body isn't already burnt out before you go and you, like, just strain your muscles completely. It should be you weight train and then go to cardio, but once again, I was imperfect at this time. But goes to show that it's still possible even if you are imperfect. But basically, I would just do cardio, and it would be about an hour-long session. Go in and do a workout for an hour long, 45 minutes an hour. Wasn't super long, and at that time, I was either doing like the program I was talking about in the beginning, where I would just take a switch up C-bump program, or I would be doing like a football lift kind of like lifting program thing during the summer. So it really goes to show you don't need a super good program. Anything can work. And at that time, I was training with super like high intensity. I was like, not, okay, I shouldn't say super high, but let's say I did 3 sets. And my first 2 sets would be, close to failure, and my last would be failure. So when I knew I had a spotter, or when I knew I had racks, something like that, I would take it to failure, and I would actually push myself, which causes muscle growth, obviously. And when you do that 3 months straight, your muscle is going to start growing and filling out where the fat used to be. And since you are in a caloric deficit, when I was in a caloric deficit, you are losing weight, which means you are losing fat, but you are also losing muscle, right? But since I was a pretty new lifter, it was, well, no, I guess I really wasn't, but still, I was losing fat and muscle, but I was also gaining muscle since I was training the muscle. So I was just replacing the muscle, or I was replacing the fat with muscle, and therefore less fat, more muscle. And I filled out, I filled out a frame. And I did all of that by only tracking calories and doing football lifts and like a random C-bump workout that I modified. Doing cardio for about an hour every day, 5 days a week, like during the weekdays. Like, this was nothing crazy. This is doable stuff. And I was in a busy schedule. I had a ton of stuff going on. I trap shoot, like I do shotgun shooting, clay targets. I do golf in the summer. I was just getting done with lacrosse. I was starting up the football stuff. And all of this took up a lot of time. That's only 4 activities out of the other several that I did. I was working as well. I was hanging out with friends. I wanted free time as well, So my schedule was busy. It was kind of packed, but I also had the free time to go and work out. And I did it different times of the day each day. It doesn't matter about consistency of time. You can go at 6 a.m. one day and then 6 p.m. the next day. It really doesn't matter, but you should do what your body wants you to do. If you're a big morning person, go, an hour after you wake up, make sure you eat, make sure your body's actually awake. Make sure, you meditate, whatever you need to do in the morning. Read, get your eyes unstrained, stuff like that. If you're a night person, go more at night. Find a gym that's open 24 hours so it doesn't close when you're trying to go to the gym. Go at night and then, eat protein, go to sleep. It's really simple. You can find time throughout the day. When you have little breaks too, like it is, you can work out that. Like, I understand that's really pushing it, but if you're committed to, losing weight or dropping body fat percentage, if you have a 30-minute break from work, go take a walk. Just like walking burns calories. Take a walk around the office or something. Take a walk, like if you work in the city, take a walk through the city, come back, then you're working again. Or if you have about an hour between, or have an hour of free time, you can go to the actual gym. Lift some weights. It only needs to be about 45 minutes. If you're taking it very seriously and your intensity is there, you only need about a 45-minute to an hour workout. It's nothing crazy. It is doable. And I did this just over the summer. Just doing like football lifts, my modified program. It's really doable. And I feel like people overlook that fact because they think, oh, well, I'm going to have to track everything. I'm going to have to track my protein, my carbs, my fat, my calories. I'm going to have to work out for an hour and a half. I'm going to have to do so much cardio. I'm going to have to go on the treadmill. I have a busy schedule. It's going to take up all of my time. Like, no, it's not. People also think, oh, I got to take all these supplements to get strong. Oh, maybe I should just hop on steroids to get the shortcut. Like, everything good in life takes time. And taking those little shortcuts is just going to send you down a little rabbit hole. Like people on steroids, they're taking it controlled. It might be a little bit better, but still, it still has very, very negative side effects. But that's completely off topic. The fact is, people overlook the fact that this stuff is easy. I didn't have a very expensive gym membership. All I was doing was going to Anytime or my school gym. I was doing a shit program. I had a busy schedule. I was only tracking calories. Like, this stuff is overlooked. People think you have to have a great gym. People think you have to have all of the most optimal machines. At that time, I was probably doing a ton of, I was probably doing all three of the compound lifts, or all three of the big three compound lifts, I should say. I was doing a lot of body weight exercises. There were some medicine ball exercises I would do. And it would be just random stuff. It doesn't, as long as you're hitting the muscle group and you're going hard on the muscle group, going with high intensity, you will build that muscle. Biceps don't need to be perfect. If you can't go to the gym, get a heavy backpack and just start curling it. And you don't need to know the weight. Put enough books in there and remember what books you put in there, and each week try to add another book. Or try to add another rep or set, progressive overload. But it doesn't need to be perfect. All you need to do is train with intensity. Know what you're doing. It really does not need to be perfect. And it just goes to show. 25% to 15% body fat. It's a pretty big leap in 3 months. And if you want that kind of result, it's really simple. But yeah, I just thought I would share my story from 25% body fat to 15% body fat. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, sharing a story you might have, telling me if I was wrong about anything. anything about the video. But if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.